let us understand the today's session, mainly the developing deep inquiry-based project for student ownership, mainly a student-centered. So today's agenda is on introduction and objectives, then in inquiry-based learning and its core principles and the various approaches and tools to implement inquiry-based learning, then adding inquiry-based learning to your lesson plan with the previous multimodal learning also. Here you are using inquiry-based learning and feedback and closing. This is our today's agenda. Now let's go to the introduction. We had a small introduction. We'll give you an activity. First, before that, let's understand the session objectives. So today's objective of the session, so that what you're going to take forward along with you is understanding inquiry-based learning, its core principles and approaches, then learn practical tools to spark curiosity through examples, various examples that we'll be providing, and explore ways to embed or implement inquiry-based learning into lesson plan across subject, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary way, and assess inquiry by valuing process and understanding, because how you have to assess it also. So now let's understand one of the activity. This is the icebreaker activity. I'll show you an image. What do you see? Observe the image. Now, here is the question for you. So look at this classroom. What is one question you really wonder about? You can speak up by raising your hand, or you can use the in-chat messages. So look at this classroom. What is one question you really wonder about? No questions? What do you think this classroom is? How do you feel the classroom is? Is the students curious? I'm only asking questions. What do you really wonder? Anyone wants to speak up? Very curious? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Students are not curious. Okay. My teacher is looking like robo instead of human. Okay. Would anyone like to answer to the question asked by Yeshi Dolmas, madam? Let's make this engaging activity. Why teacher is looking like robot instead of human? Teacher-centered learning. Okay, Janu madam. Thank you. Okay. If no one has any questions, thank you, teachers, for responding and asking a question and adding your point too. So here when we say that the robot is here, it's a teacher-centered. Why do you feel it is a teacher-centered? Because the person is standing, just giving an instruction to the students. Yes, right. So if you feel that it's a teacher-centered, but we are actually here, the person is the children are asking more questions, and it is a AI classroom. So it is not teacher is not looking over, but it is an AI classroom where the robot is convert. Instead of a teacher, the robot is teaching the class. So there is no emotional bonding. Nothing is happening over there. So, but there are a lot of curiosity which is happening because the students are asking more questions over here. So when learners create their own questions, when you create your own questions, they begin to take ownership of what they want to learn. Like when you're saying, why teacher is looking like a robot instead of human? You are trying to understand why there is a change in it. Why not a teacher, not an actual human being? So you want to understand what is happening over there. Similarly, even in a classroom, when the students are given the option to ask more questions, they are actually asking questions what they want to learn. So you're creating their own questions, and they begin to take ownership of what they want to learn. So when we come into the topic, that is IBL, that is inquiry-based learning, project begins here only when they start questioning. The moment students own the questions, they own their learning. So here is a case study mainly to understand why IBL. So here's a case study. Would anyone like to read it aloud? Okay, then I'll read it. Okay, at Awakening Academy, teachers notice a puzzling trend. During group experiments in science, students carefully followed every instructions, measuring, recording, and cleaning up. But when the activity ended, the room stayed silent. No one raised a hand to ask why a result occurred or to suggest what might happen if they tried something differently. So across subjects, students were active in completing assigned work, leaving teachers wondering what holds them back from curiosity, questioning, or extending their own ideas. So you got this paragraph, right? So they were able to complete everything, the records, measuring, recording, cleaning up, everything. But no one raised a question or asked, why can't we do it in another way? But they did their work perfectly. So what was holding them? So here is a question. What do you think might be the reason for students' silence during interactive and activity-based sessions? when we say interactive in the present situation also. So what might be the reason for the silence during interactive and activity based sessions? So can you give out any reasons? If you can speak up, you can unmute and tell also, or you can use the in chat messages. So what do you think might be the reason for students silence? Nervous to speak? Yes, ma'am. Anyone else? What might be the reason? During our school days also we would have experienced few things. What might be the reason? Might be they are engaged with whatever doing. Okay. Distracted mainly. Find shortage of words, probably communication or language problem. Yes. Yes. I'll go ahead. You're all right. That is mainly fear of judgment or making mistakes, because we find that everyone would judge us, like your shortage of words, or if there is a problem with pronunciation or sentence formation, we feel that we are being judged. And lack of confidence or low self-esteem, because again the judgment actually reduces our confidence. Then over-structured classroom culture, because everything should be status-centered, it should be like this, so automatically the classroom culture also impacts for a child to open up. And language or communication barriers, so again there is a fear of that doing. And teacher-centered approach dominates, so automatically whatever is instructed and they fear, is it right or wrong, or there might be anything objection from the teacher, so automatically they don't speak up. So similarly, in the situation, everyone would have seen that even when we are trying to speak up in a larger group, so we think we are being judged. And similarly, in a classroom also, there is a lot of situations where the students also, even if they do their work properly or complete their work, they're unable to speak up because of being judged, or because of lack of confidence, or communication issues, or language, or the structure of the classroom. So now let us understand why inquiry-based learning. So the main reason of inquiry-based learning, how it helps. So done. Inquiry-based learning. It is a student-centered approach. When we say student-centered approach, it is mainly where the students are mainly concentrated and you're giving the attention to them, and they have the right to speak up, whatever they can ask. And where learning begins with questions, problems, or scenarios rather than direct instructions. You become the facilitator and you just ask them. They keep on responding and you get the knowledge. It can be problems or solutions or questions, and you just give them whatever they asked. So it's more of a indirect instructions. So why is it important? Why inquiry-based learning is important? First, encourages curiosity and questioning, because they are curious. Whenever they are questioned, there is a lot of curiosity in them, and questioning happens. Keep on questioning. We keep on cross-questioning on that. Then comes develops critical thinking and independence, because when you keep on questioning, assume that even if you are questioning on some other aspect, like in a cooking class or in the classroom, someone is teaching a subject and you're interested how they are teaching. So we keep on asking, what happened? Why did you do this? What all ways did you do it? What all methods or resources you used? So you're gaining a lot of knowledge. Automatically, the information that you gather, your thinking, your critical thinking happens, and you become independent in your own thinking. Later on, you add your own ideas to it. Then comes the shifts from learning from passive to active. Instead of just listening to what you're teaching, instead of listening to it, you become an active learner. In inquiry-based learning, you become an active learner because you're questioning a lot, you're getting a lot of answers, and again you're cross-questioning. Automatically it becomes an active session. Then comes the builds engagement and motivation. When you are actively participating, your curiosity is more and you're critically thinking, automatically there is a lot of engagement and motivation. Even other students also starts participating. Whatever they have in their mind, whatever doubts they have in their mind, they keep on questioning. Automatically there is engagement and motivation. And finally, prepare students for real world problem solving. When all these aspects, when they have keep on questioning, right, they are ready, because usually students ask what they observe around them in their home environment or school environment or in their society also. So they ask questions according to that, so then they connect it to their real world. So most of their problem solving, real world problem solving happens when they start inquiry based learning. So it prepares students for that. So the questioning aspects helps them. So now we understood what is IBL, that is inquiry based learning, and its importance. Now let us understand the core principles of inquiry based learning. The core principles, as we mentioned here earlier also in the importance, I'll go in a gist. The principles only states what it is. Question-driven learning. It's a question. You may ask more questions. The more questions makes them to learning. Where the learning starts with open-ended questions or thought-provoking questions, and questions stimulate curiosity and guide the direction of exploration. The next core principle is the student agency. As I mentioned, it's a student centered. So a student becomes the agency, and students make decisions about what and how they learn, and learners take especially responsibility of only setting goals and what they want to learn and evaluating their progress according to that. They only analyze it. Then the third core principle of inquiry based learning is active investigation. When we say active investigation, is mainly because they work in a teamwork or a project, so automatically they investigate, they cross questions. So students engage in hands-on exploration like data collection and problem solving. Then emphasis is placed on mainly on discovering the various patterns when they are working on a problem and testing ideas and building main understanding on those projects or whatever on project they are working on. And then the fourth core principle is collaboration and dialogue. Since it's a teamwork, in inquiry-based learning is more of a teamwork or a project-based, there's a collaboration and dialogue, communication comes into existence where students learn through discussions, teamwork, and sharing diverse perspectives. Because even this stage is where we are from various regions, pan-India, so there is a diverse perspective. So in the more we engage, the diverse learning happens over here also. So engagement matters. So even peer interaction helps clarify thinking and refining questions or solutions. Then the fifth core principle is real world relevance. As I mentioned in the importance also, the real world application happens when they keep on questioning. So learning tasks are connected to authentic real life issues which is surrounding them, school environment or even their home environment, and the challenges that they face. And students see the values and applications of their learning beyond their classroom, and they try to apply it accordingly. And the last core principle is reflection and recognition. So metacognition. So when we say reflection and metacognition, it is mainly whatever the perspective they have, they try to apply to the real world, mainly think over own thinking and learning process. And reflection helps deepen their understanding and informs future inquiries by cross questioning or understanding or placing their perspective over here. So these are the core principles mainly, which is on the questions, real world application, metacognition, reflections, and student agency. All these aspects come into the core principles. So do you have any doubts as of now? Was I too fast? No, I'm talking about inquiry based learning. A lot of questions has to come. No questions? Okay, then I'll ask you a question. So here is an activity. So I'm going to check. So the first question, which of the following best reflects a core principle of inquiry-based learning? So which of the following best reflects a core principle of inquiry-based learning? A, students memorize facts and definitions provided by the teacher. B, the teacher leads every step and provides all solutions. C, students explore real-world problems through questioning and investigating. D, learning based strictly on textbooks, chapters, and fixed content. Yes. So everyone is present. It would be nice if someone could speak up. C, correct. The answer is C. So students explore real-world problems through questioning and investigation. The next question to check your understanding is, which classroom activity best aligns with the principles of inquiry-based learning regarding reading a chapter and answering end-of-lesson questions? B, investigating with local plants grow differently in some sunlight and shade through observations and group discussion. C. Memorizing key terms for a weekly quiz. Or D. Watching a documentary and writing a summary. So which is the right answer? B. Yes, right answer. So I'm saved. Yes, congratulations. Yes, the right answer is B. So investigating why local plants grow differently in sunlight and shade through observation and group discussions. Yeah, thank you, teachers. Yes, you're right. So I assume that no one has a doubt. So now, as of now, we have understood the core principle. Now let us understand the approaches to inquiry-based learning. The first approach, mainly say approach, let us understand these are the models or levels of how much control students have in the inquiry, how much control to asking questions, what kind of control questions they are going to ask. It is on the inquiry. Inquiry is mainly questioning. So how much control do you have? Whereas there are various approaches to it. We have 5 approaches. The first approach is the structured inquiry. You have structured inquiry when we say it is from the teacher provides the questions and the method. And what does the student do? Students follow steps and find answers. So your teacher instructs everything. It's a structured manner. So they give the teacher gives the questions and how to do it, and students follow the steps what the teacher says. For an example, like a question, how much paper waste does our class produce in 1 week? So this is a question given by the teacher, and teacher gives a data sheet. Here, what the student has to do, the students has to follow the steps and find answer by tallying it and collecting the data with the available data that they have. So this is a structured approach because everything is available, but only they need to analyze it. Next is a guided inquiry. When I say guided inquiry, when the teachers is actually provides the questions, students decide how to investigate it with the available question what they have. Students, they have to decide how to investigate it, the ways you have to do it. If the data is given, in what way I have to do it. So here is an example question: which type of waste is most common in our school? This is the question that has been given. So student decide data collection method by probably they only investigate it by collecting, going to their peer students or going to the staff, helping staff, and identify how many bins are there, how much waste has been collected, and they do a survey and make a tally, and they even make a chart out of a pie chart as to identify what is the problem. The pie chart is too extreme, but mainly a data collection happens. They only investigate it from the school premises. This is a guided inquiry. The teacher instructs. Next is an open inquiry. Open inquiry, the name itself says you're giving the option for them only to investigate. So students generate their own questions and method of investigating. So even similar to the waste manager, students ask, why are we wasting so much food in the cafeteria? So how they do that? This question is come only when they design surveys, interviews, and measurements. Why are we wasting? This question has been raised, and they only investigate that. They only analyze it as to why there is a wastage of so much of food. We may not be having a cafeteria, but in the school premises also, they might see in the classroom also so much of wastage is there in the dustbin. It might be a paper, may not be the whole premises. Even in the classroom also, there might be a lot of things that they dump on a daily basis. So what might be the reason? They can actually interview or make a survey from the survey in the classroom itself, get an idea, or they can check with the other classrooms and get an idea and actually measure what can be avoided and various ways to do it. Next is the project-based inquiry. The project-based inquiry is a teamwork. When we say project-based, it's students work on a long-term project. It is not a short-term, and it will be mainly to solve a problem or create a product. For what? If I'm talking about the waste management, you can see that everything is talking about waste management. So here they try to solve the problem or create a product what can be done, or to reuse or upcycling the product or the wastage. Sorry. Yes. So the challenge is that design a system to reduce waste in our school. This is a challenge given the project or the problem solving. So what the team creates awareness pattern like posters or recycling drives or compost bins, or they segregate the decomposing the wet waste and the dry waste, and they try to identify what waste we can stop or reduce though so much of wastage. So they try to design, or they might try to upcycle. So this is a project, it's a long-term project where they try to create a product or solve a problem. Next is a interdisciplinary inquiry. When we say interdisciplinary inquiry, so it is mainly, as we mentioned, it's all about the all subjects. So students explore a real world issue cutting across subjects, all the subjects. So one issue can be utilized in various subjects. Like in the waste management itself, when we say waste management in science, decomposition and composting is a science topic. So for waste management can be used on this science topic. Then comes the math. When we say math, earlier we saw data, tallying, everything. So data and surveys are done only through mathematical calculation. So data on waste collected. Then social studies. When we say social studies, how it can be included? By policies or community actions. So the various policies that we have, the wastage usage or the upcycling. So all this comes under the social studies. Then the language. Language is everywhere. What we are talking right now is also language. What when you are writing a project or a survey is also a language, and even a campaign slogan or a posters, whatever you use, there is a language. So interdisciplinary inquiry helps in understanding, connecting to every subjects. So even for one topic, you can connect to various subjects. So these are the approaches to inquiry based learning. One is the structured inquiry, guided. Second one is guided inquiry. Third one is open inquiry. And fourth one is project-based inquiry. And fifth is the interdisciplinary inquiry. So do you have any doubts as of now? No? Thank you. Thank you, Afsana ma'am. Okay. So only Afsana ma'am has understood. Okay. If you have any doubts, please do let us know. And now, since now we have understood the importance, the core principles and the approaches, now we will I know the various tools that can be used in inquiry-based learning. So now so my co-presenter Suman will be taking it forward. Thank you, Suman.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Preeti. And thank you so much, teachers, for your active engagement and participation till here. So we will continue with tools, like what tools you can take from here so that you can go and implement directly into your classroom. So basically, tools are the things or some classroom techniques that you will carry with yourself, and you can implement those in your classroom. So basically there are three techniques. First is question formulation technique, the second one is graphic organizers, and the third one is KWL chart. So in the upcoming session we are going to discuss all these three in detail. So let's begin with the first technique, which is question formulation technique. So question formulation, as it's by going with its name, we are formulating questions. So we are framing questions. So we are helping students to frame questions, like whenever in the beginning of the session we show you a picture and you raise questions, like, right? So same as that, students will also arise some questions, and we will refine their questions and connect with the topic so that it goes along with the what we are going to teach in our classroom. And why it works, that it will promote, it will promote their voice. They can talk, they can ask, and they can shift from passive learning to active learning by this method. It will also develop their thinking skills, like higher order thinking skills. And for project based learning, it will build a foundation for them. So this is a question formulation technique. So let's understand how you can use it in your classroom. For example, waste management in your school. So firstly, you will present an image in front of the students, like you can show a photo of cafeteria that the bins are overflowing, the dustbin is full. Then the second step will be, students will ask you question that why are they overflowing, what type of waste is there, how much food is wasted daily. All right, so students will frame such kind of questions. Now we will refine the questions and we will prioritize it according to the topic that we are going to teach. So we will categorize those questions into we will mode the questions from close to open. Do we recycle? We will give this answer as yes or no, but we have to make it in open-ended, like how can we improve recycling, how can we recycle material in our school. And the fourth and final step will be select best for inquiry, like what will you choose. So you have to choose top 2 to 3 quality questions that are coming from students, like what are the main types of waste in our school and how can we recycle them. So this is question formulation technique. You have formulated a question here, right? And you have connected it to the topic. Now let's understand it by an example. So we have taken a class 6 topic, which is water scarcity. So according to this technique, first of all, we have presented an image, like image of a dry well. So what questions come to your mind, like watching this image? So you can type in chat box and you can also unmute yourself. Your participation is must for active engagement. So what do you think by seeing this well? This well is empty. There is no water in this well. So what questions come to your mind? You can type in chat box. Yeah, no questions? Anyone? Tanvi ma'am, Sarja ma'am? Okay. So this is the image of a dry well. Why the well is dried up? Yes, yes, Janvi ma'am. Anyone else? Like why the well is dry? Correct. Is there water scarcity? Which place is it? Like such kind of questions student can ask. So the second step is students will list question that why is the well empty? Who uses the most water? Is water important? So we will, in the third step, we will refine these questions like why is water conservation critical for communities? Sunita ma'am replied, maybe did not rain. Yes, yes. So refining to these questions, we will reach to our topic like what we want to teach in our classroom or to our students. How can our community save water effectively? Like the theme is mostly based on that how can we save water or conservation of water. So this was our first technique. Now the second technique is graphic organizers. So by going with this, like graphic, what do we understand is like there is some kind of graph of like visual presentation of anything, right? So these are visual tools that organize concept and ideas. Like there is a concept and we are organizing it. Why it works? It helps to, like, students can relate that this is the main topic, this is the cause, this is the we can solution we can provide. So it will develop thinking skills, higher order thinking skills among them. They can relate things to one another, and they can also plan how can they create their inquiry projects. So graphic organizers, let's understand this, that how can we use it in our classroom. For example, waste management. First of all, we will put the main topic in the center, then we will branch out related ideas like what are the causes, what could be the possible solutions, what are the stakeholders, and then we will add connections. Like for example, we take waste management in our school. So waste management, what we can take from here is like sources. What are the sources? Food wrappers, paper. Then what are the solution we can provide is composting and recycling. Then what are the stakeholders? Student and staff. So using this information, we can make a visual presentation and then connect them with one another. So let's understand this. So here you can see is a mind map or concept map. So here the main theme is climate change. So here we are, first of all, we are taking the causes. What are the causes of climate change? Like human activities, natural environment changes. The second is what are the evidences that support that climate is changing. So the evidences are like oceans are warming, there is increase in weather conditions, the glaciers are melting, increase in temperature, etc. Then what possible solutions we can provide is like we can do further research, how can we help with this. We can also change our behavior, like what we can do here is we can develop renewable energy resources and then reduce burning fossil fuels. So you can see that the information is arranged here. So whenever you are teaching a topic or a whole lesson, you can organize information in such kind of mind map or concept map. So it will be very easy to for students to retain information for a very long time. So this is a very simple and a very effective method that you can use in your classroom. So the third one is KWL chart. So let's understand what is KWL chart. So it is a 3-column chart in which we made 3 columns. First column will be like what I know, second column will be like what I want to know, and the third column will be like what I learned. So let's understand this, that how it works. Like it will structure student thinking. Like before starting a topic, you will say students that what do you know about this topic and what do you want to know about this topic. Like whenever students are like questioning, no, so what do you want to know, and at the end of the session what you have learned. So it helps to structure their thinking. It will activate their prior knowledge, what they know priorly about the topic. It will encourage curiosity among students. They will reflect and take ownership of their learning, that what they want to learn throughout the sessions, and definitely they can attract their learning process by this. So let's understand that how you can use it in your classroom. For example, we are again take the like waste management in our school. So what I know, what I want to know, and what I learn, these three columns we made. So you can ask students to do it in their notebook, or you can also write it on board or paper. So KWL, so this is the first step. Draw three columns. Fill before the lesson, fill two columns, K and W, what I know and what I want to know. So these two columns will be filled before starting the lesson, and the third column L, this will be filled after the lesson or the session that you have provided to the student. Now let's understand this by a simple example. So there is a project and its title is Our Classroom and Our Community. It's basically a 5th grade topic, and here we want to know that how can we improve our classroom. So what we know about the classroom, what we want to know. So in what I want to know, students write that our classroom has poor lighting, the walls are not decorated, it is dusty, the benches are not arranged. And what they want to know, that how can they like arrange their classroom and make it more better, brighter. How can they reuse material to decorate the walls and all. And at the end of the session, during the inquiry based learning, you will do activities and all these things that you want to know and want to execute. And at the end, you will feel what you have learned or what I learned. So what I learned, that we can use mirrors and light colored walls, we can use chart papers, we can use rotating based methods to clean our classroom. Like we can assign duties to students to take charge and take care of everything, that activities are going to be, what kind of activities are going to have in classroom, and students will take charge, that they will take charge that the activity will go smooth and the classroom will be clean daily and properly. They will check on it. So this is a template. We will provide you this template in group. You can use it in your classroom. So these were 3 techniques that you can use directly in your classroom. First was question formulation. The second one was, the first was question formulation. It is KWL chart and the like student inquiry. The mind map. Now assessment is very important in inquiry based learning. So whatever you have teach, assessment is very important. So how you can assess learning in your classroom? So you can use rubrics. Like there are some criteria. On some criteria you can use rubrics, like what are the quality of questions students are framing. Are they asking irrelevant questions, or they are asking like basic or simple factual questions, or are they asking deep questions? So you can assign students a kind of number to them: 1, 2, 3, 4, excellent, good, developing, or beginning. So depend upon the quality of questions. Then evidence and reasoning, what kind of activities they are performing, what kind of data they are collecting, are they taking it seriously or not taking it seriously. So basis on this, the third one is collaboration and creativity. In inquiry based learning, whenever you are grouping students in an activity, so is there teamwork? Are they helping each other? Are they collaborating positively with each other? Are they taking some positive outcome whatever they are learning and performing? So this was the third criteria. Now the fourth is reflection on process. Are the students able to reflect on the process, what they are like doing, like they are going in a right direction, whatever they want to know, whatever they want to achieve, are they achieving it? They are working towards the goal or not? So depending upon the intensity of these 4 points, you can assess their performance, that how they are performing. We will also provide you like this rubric as well in format. Now this is very important, that how can you add IBL to lesson plan, that the lesson plan you usually design in your classroom, that what objectives you will going to achieve. So first of all, you have to identify a theme, what theme or topic you are going to teach. Then we will frame essential questions, that what questions should come out and how we can relate it to the topic. Then we should plan activities, what kind of tasks we are going to students and what students can need. Then fourth will be the resources, like what picture you are showing. Are you showing some picture or video or a kind of news cutting or something else? Then fifth step is like you can plan assessment, like you have to check points, like what kind of assessment you want to do, formative or what kind of descriptive or formative kind of feedback you want to give to your students. So let's understand this by an example. So in 8th grade, suppose if you are teaching a topic of science, which is like harnessing renewable energy, that you can solve the real world problems. So what is the big idea or theme here is renewable energy, that how we can use it to provide sustainable solutions. So essential question, what is the essential question here, that how renewable energy can solve the problem in our community. So we usually face power cuts in villages and other places. There are other problems with power. So how can we solve this issue? So what activity can you plan? How you can plan your lesson is like, for first 5 minutes you can show a picture or an image or a kind of clip or news cutting, that there are power cuts, that this kind of energy is creating pollution or some other kind of problem. Then we will take the inquiry task for next 15 minutes. For these 15 minutes, what we are doing is, like in groups, students will brainstorm that what are the renewable energy resources. They will give their ideas, what they know. So what they know, they will tell, like solar power, hydropower or windmill energy, etc. The next 15 minutes, they will investigate, like they will choose like which group is going to perform and what they are going to propose a solution, what kind of solution they are going to give. So leading to this, when students come after their investigation, they will share their proposal, that what they are proposing, what is their idea to solve this particular problem. Then what resources you can use in your classroom is like whatever image, picture, audio clip or video or any kind of news cutting you want to show in your classroom. You can use chart paper for the activity and other things, whatever you want to include, whatever you have access to. So these will be included in the resources. Then what will be the assessment checkpoints for the students, like you are taking like rubric brainstorming, you are providing a kind of comprehensive feedback to the students, like what kind of review you are providing to your students. Then what will be the learning outcome, that students will be able to understand that renewable energy resources are very important and how we can use them to provide practical solutions to the community. Okay, so this is the example of like how you can use inquiry based learning in your classroom. Now we have come to towards the end of the session. Let's summarize all the points that we have learned. So we have understand about inquiry based learning, that it is very important for students to ask questions and promote their curiosity by questioning, framing their questions. The inquiry based learning is very important, like your classroom is passive, only teacher is teaching. So it is very important to eliminate passive learning and promote active learning in classroom. You can use tools like KWL chart, graphic organizers, and rubrics and other things that make your classroom more engaging by using activities. And also assessment is very important, because we are not going to do that. We are taking a test in the end of the session. So keep assessing is very important. So this was all about inquiry based learning, that it is very, very important. And thank you so much for attending the session. This was the last session of our teacher certification program. Thank you.